What's up, Alex? It's Guys here. Real estate is piping hot and the bounty is plentiful. You want to make a lot of money, you can and you will. I'm the co-owner of TRE here in Austin, Texas. We are a real estate company that is focused on helping as many people as possible make money in and on real estate. I've been investing in real estate for 6 years now and have made millions of dollars. That money doesn't go into my pocket though. It goes right back into more real estate. The strategy that I've learned, used, and perfected is exactly what you're going to learn today. The BRRRR method. The temperature in this room is just fine, but I do always get a little chill up my spine when I think about how bulletproof this real estate investing strategy is. BRRRR is an acronym. If you've been thinking about real estate investing for longer than 5 seconds, you know what it stands for. But for the new guy, I'll say it anyway. BRRRR stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. This is a surefire way to make a ton of profit in real estate without having to come up with a ton of your own money. Do you want to buy 10 rental properties in 5 years or less? You gotta do the BRRRR method. This is such a beautiful strategy that I wanted to break down every little aspect of it for you so that you can share in the wealth that is real estate investing. This video is part 1 of the series. Each of the BRRRR letters needs to be its own video so that you can be the best investor possible. Today, we're gonna go over the B. Buy. But before we do, I need you to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Okay, now let's dive in and help you buy some real estate. In this first step here, you're not just buying anything, you have to buy a good deal. If you don't know what you're looking for, then you'll be lost the whole time and will more than likely fall into a situation where you lose money. Let's avoid that, right? So, knowing your parameters is key here and a great first step. So finding a deal below value is important. I know. You're probably saying, duh, Alex, we know that. But how far below market value does it need to be to work? The deal needs to be far enough below value that after you rehab the property, you will put no more than 75% of the ARV all in with your purchase and your rehab. Now that you know generally what deal you're looking for, let's talk about finding deals on market. If you're a realtor, then this step will be fairly simple for you. If you're just an investor without a real estate license, then you need to create a team, and the first person on that team is going to be a great realtor. There are great deals on market all the time. You just got to have someone ready to look for them and be ready to put in offers pronto. So, how do you find a top-notch realtor? Ask your family and friends for referrals. Set up interviews with each realtor you sit down with. Make sure they understand investments. Most realtors are focused on buying and selling primary residences for their clients, but there are a select few that are well versed in the investing game. The key to finding a really good deal is to find and build a relationship with an investor-friendly agent. Our brokerage, TRE, is filled with them. These agents are always on the hunt for properties that are priced below market value. They're looking for their clients, you, and for themselves. This presents another opportunity and possibility to partner on deals. So, when talking to potential realtors to work with, make sure that they understand your goals. An agent that works with investors or invests themselves will have goals that are aligned with yours. Perfect. Realtors have access to the MLS so they can find deals and gain access to contact info a lot easier than some common civilian like you. They should be an expert in the local market, understand how investing works and what returns you need. Having a good realtor on your team is key because they may even be able to provide you with some great local resources for your project like contractors, property managers, or stagers. Even if you decide not to utilize a realtor for your property, I suggest that you network with some of them and at least meet some of them. They're great resources, and if they're a good realtor, they're in the business all day, every day. It would not be wise to pass up this free resource. If you don't end up using or needing a realtor, then that means that you're finding deals off market. If you're taking this on yourself, that means that you are driving for dollars, finding motivated sellers, and cold calling. If not, you're likely going to be working with a wholesaler. Wholesalers find properties off market, get them under contract, and then assign that contract to an end buyer, usually an investor. They don't have to have a license and they don't charge a commission. However, they make their money based on the difference between what they get under contract for and then what they assign it to you at. I highly recommend you get on every wholesaler's list that you can. You can find them in your local real estate investor Facebook groups. Usually the Facebook groups are full of wholesalers looking to offload their deals that they have under contract. Make sure that you do your due diligence though at every stage of this process. You need to understand the market and then understand every aspect of the deal that you're looking at. When you find a deal through a wholesaler, you'll let them know that you want to move forward on it, get an assignment contract signed, send in your earnest money deposit, and prepare for closing. For more info on this, check out our wholesale series right here. Now, using a wholesaler can help streamline the buying process, but you may want to find these off-market deals yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, this means that you're driving for dollars, combing through motivated seller lists, and cold calling. These lists I speak of are more comprised of people who may be in foreclosure, they're in probate, getting divorced, tax delinquent, etc. If they're on these lists, then they're in a pickle and will be more motivated to sell. But how do you get your sweaty little hands on these lists of pure gold? Go to your county's website and do some digging. Once you get a list, look up who the owner of the property is and what their mailing address is through the appraisal district website. You could also try and find this owner's contact information through free services such as truepeoplesearch.com. If the owner of a property is an entity, you can go to corporationwiki.com to find out who the owners are and then their contact info. With these services, you can find potential phone numbers and email addresses. Now, you can knock on some doors, send them a letter in the mail, or give them a call or text. See if they would consider selling their property to you. When you speak to the owners, you want to identify any pain points that they have. Listen to them and see if you can offer a potential solution to their problem. The goal is to find a win-win situation. You want to buy a piece of real estate while helping this person out of a tough situation at the same time. The final piece of juicy info that you need to buy real estate is money. How are you going to finance a property once you get it under contract? You probably don't just have $300,000 of cash laying around, so let's use leverage to take down a deal, shall we? Now, I'm not talking about traditional 30-year loans, or else the whole BRRRR concept wouldn't quite make sense. You have more clarity on that in the fourth and final episode of this series about refinancing. For now, you want to finance your deal with hard money or private money. You're going to need to find a good private lender or hard money lender. Hard money lenders are everywhere these days. If you found a good investor-friendly realtor, like we talked about earlier, then they will know a handful of good hard money lenders in your market. You can also find them by searching on Yahoo or Ask Jeeves. These are probably the biggest search engines. You can also do a good deal of networking with happy hours and coffee meetings. Ask for referrals from people that you know and trust. Once you sit down with the lender, you need to find out how much they will lend you. This figure is going to be usually based on the lower of the ARV after repair value, the value the property will be worth after you fix it up, or the LTC, loan to cost, the costs associated with buying the property, fixing it up, and the rehab amounts. A great loan would be one that you can get 90% LTC. This means you would only need to put down 10% to secure the property and you'll have your rehab funded. You also want to know what interest rates they're charging, how many origination points, and the length of the loan. A good deal in my opinion would be about 7 to 8% interest, 1 origination point, and a 24-month term. But use your best judgment to find the best lender with the best terms for you and your deal. And now, my friends, you are ready to buy an investment property. This video takes care of the B in the BRRRR. You have actionable steps to take that, if followed correctly, will ensure that you will find and buy a good deal. But the work doesn't end there. We have 4 more letters to talk about in this series. The deal that you buy is going to need some work. So next week, we're going to dive into R, Rehab. I flipped dozens of houses over the years. I'm excited to tell you and give you all the answers next week. So be sure to subscribe, turn on that bell notification so that you can watch the video as soon as it drops. Oh, and one more thing. If you have any questions about this video or videos to come, I want you to let me know in the comments below. I promise to personally respond to every single comment that we get. Thanks again for watching today, and I'll see you next week.